If you're manifesting an SP or anything else, then you really need to start thinking as if you have what you want, living in the end, thinking from the end. If you want to know what I'm talking about, because this is one of the biggest mistakes I see people making lately, then you need to stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another rousing episode of Spill the Tea Tuesday. My name is Flossie, and I'm like the funniest, wittiest mindset coach, as well as your OG Hype You Up Rampage Queen here on YouTube. If you would like to be part of the GYS crew and work with me, links are in the description box below. I've got personalized coaching courses. You can do my latest intensive boot camp, where it's a class. I go over everything from A to Z on manifestation, and then you have nearly daily accountability with me in a private Facebook group, as well as other amenities like having some VIP member access and call. Plus, if you don't want that, you can do group coaching. I have the VIP group. It's legit, people getting their shiznit. Links for that are also below. Before we get started, as usual, I'm gonna do my calendar. So this one says, if you can read it, it says, fuck it, color outside the damn lines. As in, live your life as you want. You're the operative power of your reality. You can do have anything that you want. So therefore, cheer the fuck up, because why? You create your own reality. And if you don't like it, it is changeable by you by changing your thoughts, and your life can become fresher than a fucking daisy. Hardcore facts. This one says, good things take fucking time. Not necessarily, but I would say that it takes time, not necessarily takes time, but take the time to change your dominant thought about a topic so that you can change your assumptions. Take time to affirm and persist. And, you know, when in doubt, swear that shit out, as in rampage like a mofo, like I do. And you can listen to my rampages on how, to learn how to do that. But a lot of times when you're swearing, speaking with authority, it makes a 3D conform like that. And then this says GTFO, or get the fuck out and get some fresh air while you're affirming. Go for a walk and affirm. So anyway, to the topic at hand. I have been working with people recently, and it seems like they just are not thinking as if they have what they want. You know, people talk in terms in the manifestation community. You hear terms like living in the end, thinking from the end, thinking as if. Those basically to me mean the same thing. You are thinking thoughts in line with your manifestation. You are thinking as if you have what you want. So I'm going to, living from the end, thinking from the end means whatever your end is, your end goal, your manifestation, you're living your life thinking as if you already have it. Doesn't mean that you're physically like acting like you have what you want, that you have it necessarily. It means that you're in your mind, you've got what you want. I'm going to focus on it as thinking as if you have it. For, all those terms, I'm just going to boil it down to thinking as if you have it. So I've been working with a lot of people recently, and they're not thinking from the end. They're not thinking as if they already have what they want. In fact, if you listen to what some of them have to say, you would think that they don't have what they want. They're not thinking that they have what they want at all. So let's talk about SP first. I know many of you guys are manifesting an SP. If you think as if you already have what you want, which is being in that relationship with SP, you are not going to be thinking of the undesirable version. You're not going to be thinking of the third party. You're not going to be thinking of all your arguments. If those things pop in your mind, if you had your SP and you had that relationship, you aren't with your SP, you manifested them back, everything's going Gucci, your relationship is stronger than ever, you wouldn't think about that shit. You know where it would be? You would have given it to the owl trash can where it belongs. You would not be thinking about it. If those thoughts ever crossed your mind, it would be more like something to the effect of like if there was a third party at some point and you had the manifestation with your SP and the third party crossed your mind, you literally would think something like, why the F am I thinking of that individual, person, biatch, whatever term that you have, when SP and I our relationship's stronger than ever. Like that was ages ago. Like you would be like, you would hardly ever think of that person. If you did, you would be like, that was so long ago. Why am I thinking about that? SP and I, our relationship stronger than ever. Like that was so far in the past. I don't even care. Why is it coming up? You wouldn't think about your old arguments. You wouldn't think about the old version of SP. You wouldn't even focus on that, because if you had what you wanted and you were getting the loving and affectionate version of your SP, who is treating you better than ever, who is blowing up your phone, where you felt secure in that relationship because your relationship was perfect, it was stronger than ever, it was rock solid, you wouldn't be dwelling on the old arguments, the old version, third parties, whatever it was is that you went through. It wouldn't be your daily focus. You would rarely think about it. If it crossed your mind, you would literally have thoughts like, why am I thinking about that? That is old news. That is so long ago, I don't care. But what I do find when I'm working with people is they're focused on the third party constantly all the time. They're focused on the old version. They're constantly reaffirming to themselves that they're not with SP, or that SP's this hideous version Chewbacca. You know, we don't let Chewbacca sit there chilling like a villain in our 3D reality. That's not what we do. We reject Chewbacca and we focus on the new version only. I also see just people trying to focus on the how, focus on like reunion scenes, focus on just everything but having their manifestation. If you spent more of your time after affirming, if you spent more of your time persisting and having a clean mental diet and thinking as if you had what you wanted, you would not be focused on all those other things. And for those of you manifesting money, if you had the money that you wanted, you wouldn't be thinking all the time about being broke. You wouldn't be thinking all the time that you can't have what you want, that you can't purchase this, that you can't afford that. You wouldn't constantly think thoughts like that. If those thoughts crossed your mind ever, you would be like, oh yeah, there was a time that maybe I couldn't have afforded that, but I'm like rich as fuck now. I can literally buy anything that I want. You would, you know, for someone who at some point or another has lived different extremes of financial, you know, health, wellness, abundance, whatever that you want to call it, you think one way when you don't have money, you think another way when you do. And when you do have money and your, you know, 3D is, financial picture is flourishing in the 3D, you don't care about how much something costs. You don't necessarily look at price tags. You don't ask how much something is. If you want it, you just get it. And I've had people point that out to me. You don't ask how much something costs. If you want something, you just get it. You don't even worry about XYZ. No, because I'm not going to worry if something's $20 or $40. I don't care. I'm not going to worry if something's $20 versus $100 if it's something that I want, period. I don't look at things like that. Compared to when, you know, you barely got 2 nickels to rub together, you're calculating everything to the last penny. When you have money, you don't. If you want to go buy a pair of Nikes, unless, of course, it's not worth, you know, like money to you. I mean, I wouldn't pay $1,000 for a pair of Nikes. I wouldn't care what they were, because I wouldn't pay that much money for Nikes. No offense, Nike or Phil Knight. I just probably wouldn't do that. But if I went to the store to go get Nikes, and they were $200 or $300, I probably would be like, okay, I want this pair of Nikes. They're $200 or $300. That's just what the going price is. I don't care. I would just like, here you go. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, they're $200. I can afford that. No. Why? Because I've got the millionaire money mindset. And in my 3D reality, if I wanted a pair of $200 Nikes, I could go out and get them. But, you know, many people who are manifesting, they have a negative money mindset. They are not thinking as if they have money. They're not thinking as if they're not living from the end, thinking from the end, and they're freaking out about every dollar. Now, I'm not saying that if you don't have that kind of money to go spend it. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying to change your thinking. In the 3D, you might not be going to buy things that you can't afford, right? Because you're not going to spend money that you don't have while you're manifesting money. But you're also not going to constantly tell yourself that it's not yours, that you can't afford it, it doesn't belong to you, that you can't ever have it, that it's never going to be in your budget, all those things. You start thinking like, no, I can have this, I can afford it, it's in my budget, I can, you know, easily get it, afford it, whatever, period. Just like for those of you who are manifesting a job. If you're manifesting a job, you would think as if you already have that job. You would think as if, you know, employers love you. Everyone wants to hire you. You're always getting the best compensation packages, things of that nature. You would not think that no one's ever going to hire you, that you always do terribly at interviews, that, you know, you're never going to get a job that you want, that you are going to apply and apply and apply, and you're always going to be rejected. So, you know, when I talk to people, no matter what it is that they're manifesting, it's surprising to me how many people don't regularly think as if they have what they want. And I'm just saying, when I talk to them about what they're regularly thinking, their thoughts are focused a lot of the times on the old story, what's happening in the 3D, accepting the 3D reality as facts. The 3D reality is not facts. You know, you can watch my entire playlist of like what not to do in manifesting an SP or anything else. I know at some point I've talked about living from the end, thinking as if, etc. But I'm talking about it again because I'm seeing it so much right now where people are just hyper fixated on what the 3D is reflecting back to them and struggling to combat those thoughts. When if you had what you wanted, if you had that relationship, if you had that money, if you had that job, you wouldn't be thinking those type of thoughts. You wouldn't be thinking them constantly. You would look at it as that was a long time ago. Everything in my life is perfect now. Like my relationship is rock solid. Like, why am I even thinking about this? And so you might need to change your mindset to those type of thoughts. If the third party comes up in your head, or being broke comes up, or not being able to afford something, or, you know, I'm going to get another rejection letter, you need to switch that to, I remember when I used to think that way. But I have the most amazing job of my life. I've got more money that I could spend. SP and I are stronger than ever. You would look at it as a long time ago. You wouldn't even think about it. I'm telling you, start really thinking about what type of thoughts would I be thinking if I had my manifestation. How would I think about SP? What would I think about the third party? You know, if you had one, what would you think about all the past arguments? You would tell yourself, nope, I wouldn't think about it. I would be thinking about how happy I am with SP, or how secure SP makes me feel, or how SP showers me in love and affection. No, I wouldn't be thinking about how broke I am. I wouldn't think that I couldn't afford XYZ. I would think how I could spend what I wanted, that I have more than enough money, that I can easily afford this, that I don't care how much it costs. If I want it, I got it, you know. And for those manifesting a job, like you think like, no, I'm making money hand over fist. I love my job. Everyone's doing my work for me. My coworkers are bent over backwards. I always have the easiest shifts. I love my life, etc. You know, you wouldn't be thinking of everyone rejects me, nobody wants to hire me, employers hate me, my job sucks, or whatever. You wouldn't be thinking that way anymore. You wouldn't think that. So no matter what you're manifesting, take some time to think, well, what would I be thinking if I had this? What type of things would I say? What would I be telling my friends? And then, you know, realize what you need to change your thoughts to when you think about those topics, because many of you are not thinking as if you have what you want. You're focusing on the 3D illusion, and you're buying into it, and you're just reinforcing and to yourself. You're reaffirming to yourself that you don't have what you want every time that you are giving in to that thought pattern and that cycle. Put it in the trash. Put it right here. Stick it in there where it belongs, and just keep affirming and persisting and getting your shiznits. Be part of the GYS crew and get your shiznits, yo. Start thinking as if. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns about that, you want to say maybe how you have battled thinking as if, like what you did to turn it around for you and help some of those that are out there that are really trying to figure out how to think about their life as if they had their manifestation. Drop maybe some of the thoughts that you did, or what you switched it up to, what you did to help your mind to have that, you know, buy-in that what you're thinking could possibly be true. What inner conversations did you have? Help out some of the newbies here, because you guys really need to think as if you already have what you want. Put the garbage in the trash where it belongs, those negative ass thoughts, and keep affirming and persisting. Think as if, because it's yours, it belongs to you. It already does belong to you. You just need to become the version of you that has it. So think as if you have it. So that's all I've got to say for now. Drop what I said below. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye.